Good day, and thank you for joining us. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of speaking with Patrick McMahon. Patrick is the general manager on Prairie Regions of Energuide. So, Patrick, maybe share with us your backstory and why you were attracted to Energuide.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation, Marty. And yeah, that's a good introduction there. As Marty said, I am the general manager for the prairies for Energuy. Energuy is Canada's largest service organization. We operate from Ottawa to Victoria. My journey with Energuy began in the last federal government program, 2009 to 2012. When I became an energy advisor, got through a few thousand energy evaluations in that program. I ran programs for the province of Alberta, and I saw Energuy delivering in the market there from the program side, and I was really impressed to get that view on their activity as well. So when this new federal program came up, I re-engaged with the company and found my way into a really nice position as being a general manager. So I do some training, quality assurance, and business development for Energuy across Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, and I'm based in Calgary. So yeah, I've got a really fantastic team, and we have a really great go-to-market product and a strategy that's oriented around helping homeowners navigate available grant programs as smoothly as possible.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So everything's going to go well as long as you're not a Calgary Flames fan. Being originally from Edmonton, we'll see. One of the things that Energuide does exceptionally well is provide the Energuide Report for residential homeowners. And using the context of solar, we use that to ensure that we'll get government grants and subsidies and interest-free loans and all that great stuff. But the reality is that Energuide report is like a gold mine of different advice and different issues that would save consumers a lot of money. It's not just, yes, you should get solar, but it's also where leaks happen and what appliances you should have. Even though we're talking about the context of solar, there's still a lot of great information in it. Now, with the process specifically about solar is typically we need the energy advisor to come in before the construction happens. And then once the construction is done, then they come in after to make sure it was done properly. Now, Patrick, when homeowners are getting ready to receive or invite the energy advisor into their home, what are some of the things that they should prepare for? Like, for example, should they leave out some chocolate cookies, or what exactly should the homeowner be prepared for?
I'll have to survey the team for dietary restrictions, but no, in all seriousness, it's not a terribly invasive process. We are going to give you that whole balance sheet of the house, really the components of the house that are going to lose energy, the components of the house that are going to consume energy, water heating and spacing the equipment, and then on-site generation to bring that total consumption in the house down with the solar array or on-site generation. But as far as preparing for the home, it's nice if the homeowners are there. For many Canadians, this is the most valuable asset. So you don't want to miss that opportunity to ask some questions or receive those insights in real time. Documentation will need that available in this program. We need to see a driver's license to confirm owner occupancy, a property tax bill to confirm ownership. If you have a wood burning fireplace in the winter, it's really important that's not been used recently. During our blower door test, we're drawing a significant volume of air into the home, and we don't want to pull those ashes or any soot into the home. It turns out that the cleaning bill is about equivalent to our insurance deductible. It's just better to avoid that. But other than that, we'll need to go through the home, most rooms, all rooms, in fact, in many cases, depending on things that we might need to see, access to the attic, into the mechanical room. So just being prepared for that. Typically on site, we're going to be in the home for about an hour to an hour and a half, generally around an hour and a half. But then the advisor has about an hour or so of computer modeling to follow up with before those reports will be generated that you mentioned.
Okay, great. Now, there's a lot of information that's collected just to make sure, give homeowners kind of comfort. Is it stored privately?
Yeah, we have an obligation with our license to Natural Resources Canada to the Canada's Privacy Act. So we do have a secure cloud storage service for Energuy to manage the portal and the customer photos of the home. We try our best to avoid collecting personal identifying information. For instance, the team is coached, like, we have an obligation to collect a photo of the basement wall. And I always say, get a picture without personal effects. Try to make it as anonymous as possible and respecting the customer's privacy. we just really don't want to. We want to do as little as possible to make the homeowner feel uncomfortable with respect to the information that we're collecting to do our job versus their personal relationship to the home. But yeah,
Right.
there are a number of checks and balances and legal obligations that we have to adhere to through our delivery.
Okay. Now, walk me through the timeline a little bit. So you have one of your colleagues come in and do all the measurements and data gathering of the home. At what point do they receive the report after that?
I think a reasonable timeline is that the reports will be back to the homeowner within 2 weeks and they'll be uploaded to the portal within another week after that. I think 30 days is a safe timeline until the portal will be populated. You'll see access to the renewable energy or on-site generation grant. That triggers the opportunity to apply for the loan. But our team knows that time in this program can be a tax. So our two key goals this year are to be high quality and fast. So we're going to really try to bring that 30-day timeline down. One's on board with being as quick from the energy evaluation itself to the portal being populated and the homeowner being able to move forward with this investment.
Okay, great. Now on our Facebook page, Canada Solar, or facebook.com/Canada Solar Team, we had one comment where there's a gal who brought in an energy advisor, not Energuide, but another one. And she was disappointed in the fact that the energy advisor came in, did everything, charged the money, but there wasn't a process to help them actually apply for the grant or at least get set up on the portal. So can you maybe walk us through how Energuide could help go through that portal? Like once the visit is done, is there a separate team or is it the same fellow that goes through? So maybe walk us through that a little bit.
Sure, that's typically not something that we support in the house, but Energuy has a large customer service team, tier 1, tier 2 customer service representatives. When we first book, I always recommend to call Energuy first because the customer service rep is going to provide the homeowner the nuts and bolts of what's required to get registered. We provide a guide that includes some video tutorials on how to do that. For homeowners that are still struggling with that process, we do provide tier 2 support for homeowners to walk through those processes. But I can empathize with that frustration. It's not a terribly difficult process to get through if you know what you're doing, but I am empathetic to those that might hit a wall and find no support. And with Energuy, we'll definitely provide those guides and human support to walk through that process.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. That's great to hear. I guess they should have used Energuide to begin with. The one question I have, I guess, is the contents of the report once the homeowner actually gets it. What is the homeowner going to learn from an Energuide report?
Sure. So there's 3 standard deliveries in an energy evaluation of what we call a renovation upgrade service. So they're going to get the label, which is a rating in gigajoules as a common unit of energy of how much the home consumes in what we call standard operating condition. 2 adults, 1 child, home 50% of the time, different set points on thermostats for different floors of the home, that kind of stuff, liters per person usage. So that's going to give a standard score that should be comparable house to house and how that compares to a home if it was built to today's building code standard. They also get the homeowner information sheet, which I mentioned it earlier, is effectively like a balance sheet of energy resources in the home. The area of the attic and the insulation, the area of the walls, the insulation, effective R value, nominal R value, the mechanical systems and efficiencies, any fireplaces, the air tightness value measured in air changes per hour at 50 pascals of pressure difference, which is very inside baseball. But the homeowner information sheet really breaks down all of the energy components in the home, as I said, a balance sheet. And then critical to the Greener Homes initiative is the renovation upgrade report. So that takes the house that you have today and shows homeowners what the energy change could be by investing in new windows or adding a solar array or completing the installation of a basement. So those 3 reports make up the delivery of an energy evaluation, what we call a pre-retrofit energy evaluation.
Okay, great. And so once a client receives that pre-retrofit, as you mentioned, you then have access to, the homeowner would have access to the grant and the loan application and all that whole process. Then presumably they start the construction of the solar arrays, the solar power generation system. Once that's completed, then you, Energuide, would then come back and confirm and that sort of thing. So maybe tell us a little bit about that post report and what clients need to do to prepare for that,
Sure.
and what they would expect from that.
Yeah, for sure. So the delivery of the reports to the homeowner in and of itself doesn't really greenlight anything in the grant program. Those documents are going to have to get to the portal, which we're going to do on the homeowner's behalf, but that's really the gate. Everything else following the upload of the reports is true. Installation can technically start after the energy evaluation, as long as we're dealing with an eligible homeowner, an eligible structure. But your question specifically relating to what happens at the post retrofit evaluation, we're going to be effectively modifying the baseline model that we created on our first visit. So the question homeowners should be able to answer is, what's changed? Oh, I added a 7.2 kilowatt solar array. I changed 15 windows. I added an R50 to my attic insulation, or got my attic to R50. We'll need to see proof of purchase for that, either an invoice or a paid invoice. And then there are specific types of documentation that we would need to see depending on the upgrade. For in many provinces in Canada, having us access to the single line diagram, the schematic of the solar array, tells us the type of module that was used, the inverter that was used, the number of modules, because we have to put that solar array into our model to accurately reflect the on-site generation and the impact on the total consumption of energy for that home.
Perfect. Okay. I wanted to maybe summarize the benefits of bringing in an Energuy.
Yeah, certainly there's the opportunity to learn about the house and think about how you continue to own the home in the future. I think it's an obligation of my team is to find opportunities, but not characterize them as deficiencies, but opportunities to continue to improve the home and move the home to a lower emissions house with a 2030, 2050 kind of timeline involved. So getting that idea, that picture, that snapshot of the home, what you think is normal for your gas bill, that happens to be twice as much as your neighbor's gas or electricity bill, starts to put that into some context where we can start to find some opportunities to save, give you a renovation plan as you continue to go. And I think critically is the net benefit of the grant program. So there is an education opportunity, there is a better awareness opportunity, your relationship to your home and your energy load. But critically and obviously, the reason we're talking is because there's some very generous grants and loan opportunities available as a result of this. And the Energuide evaluation is a gateway to that. So I think those are some good reasons. Maybe the education often, and we see this in the Google reviews, is an ancillary benefit of the energy evaluation, where we see comments quite frequently which says, I was planning this solar project and I had to do this thing, and an Energuy showed up and they were friendly, efficient, and gave me some really nice insights into my house, which I really like to see that from the team, and finding those nuggets of gold that are beyond just getting in and through a grant program.
Yeah, boy, that's tremendous. Patrick, thanks again for your time, and look forward to working together with you.
It was my pleasure. Yeah, I'm looking for sunny days and great opportunities. So thanks for the time, Marty, to share our story, and good luck in your endeavor.
Thank you.